Yes, and welcome back to the Normski TV, the What's Going On podcast. It's a nice pleasure to be back on again, another Wednesday, talking all things football, Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool, you name it. We'll be looking at the weekend just gone, some interesting results. Also, we're going to be looking at. We're also going to be looking at. This smoke that Arsenal seem to be getting. That's one of our titles that we're going to be looking at. Chile is going to be joining us soon. I've got Big D in the green room waiting to come on. Thanks for those that have subscribed to me. I've now hit 200 plus subscribers. So I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Really thanking you for your support, and long may it continue. Road to 250. That's our next journey, and hope we can go together on this journey together, and hopefully hit that target of 250. And we'll see. Just taking it in small chunks and bites, but yeah, we're getting there. So if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. Please send it around to all your friends that you know. Hit the like button, because by hitting that like button, that gets me traction on the channel, gets the algorithms going. So please hit the like button, and we'll see where we go from here. So we are gonna, go straight into the podcast, and I'm gonna introduce Mr. D. Yo, what's happening, bro?
What's happening, Norm?
What's happening, bro?
Yeah,
see,
man,
I said to you earlier on, I see man donning another Man United shirt. Man's got collections galore.
Yeah, I have a bit of a collection. There. Some old school one.
Does the wife know this?
Yeah, she's okay with that,
yeah, right. I mean, I think I need to start doing. I think the last time I bought a probably was 2015 shirt.
Yeah,
15, 16 shirt. So I really need to get back on it. But I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff that I've been seeing over the past couple of years has kind of put me off. Buying the merchandise and everything. But listen, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. If we get back to great things, then I may start buying the shirts again. But listen, how are you doing?
Me, I'm doing okay, Norms.
Yeah.
It's been a
family good and working hard as ever.
Yes, yeah. Everyone's good, man. So it's just a case of moving on. This year has been already a year of memorials. So
yeah.
Just remembering those fallen soldiers.
And
my sister's coming up as well. So, but yeah.
Well, yeah, respect to that. I mean,
move forward and
no, absolutely. I mean, it's not easy. As I say, we've all been affected in one way or another. So, our hearts go out to those families and to our friends and families that are at this time. We want to. I suppose what I'm saying is to just celebrate their lives. You know what
exactly.
I mean? And I think that's the most important thing. You know what I mean? Let's say time heals wounds. So, let's just hope and pray that one day we'll get there ourselves. Do you know what I mean? In terms of getting there and having that long life, up there in heaven, So
right, exactly, mate.
It's good to have you on. As I said, Chile will be on with us. He's running a little bit late at the moment, and we have got a lot to talk about, as you would have seen in my title, North London, or should I say Arsenal owning smoke. We will get into that. And also, it just seems like Man United just can't keep out of the news for whatever reason.
Literally, Norman, the show must go on. And it's a circus. And for us, it's the circus show right now. So I don't know. It's
So what park are they going to be turning up next? Blackheath?
Maybe that. Yeah. Put the whole shebang on. You know what I mean?
If anybody doesn't know where Blackheath is, that's in southeast London. Yeah. Normally it's a circus that turns up there. The circus. It seems like it's a circus right now. We will delve into that. I've titled that the Fork Tongue Saga. So we want to know who's speaking the truth. Some comments came out at the weekend after your 2-2 draw with Aston Villa, and what a game that was. We will talk about that, and we want to be covering the weekend fixtures as well, which some interesting results. The whole thing of top four, who's going to get that top four place? Is Chelsea, in trouble in terms of, they've only won, I think, in their last 4 or 5 games, one game, lost one and drawn 3. So are they in a situation where they could get dragged into fight for top 4? Tottenham have got something like 4 or 5 games in hand on them. They've played 18 games, whereas Chelsea have played 23 games. So that is there a chance that Chelsea could get dragged into this top 4 race? Liverpool, they win and beat Brentford. I think it was 3-0 at the weekend without Mane and Salah. We've got a massive game against them tomorrow. Second leg of the Carroll Cup semi-finals. We will have some of our players back, and hopefully we can do something. It looks like what's his name is not going to make it back. Thomas Partey won't make it back on time. Obviously, Ghana got eliminated from the AFCON. Right. The shock result. They came bottom of their table, believe it or not.
Yeah, which is that is a shocker.
They came bottom of their table. So they've ended up being eliminated, and he's on his way back. So just a pity somebody couldn't have got him, flying him over in a private jet.
Well, the thing is, the money's there, Norman. Just fly him over. Seriously.
Yeah, the chances of him playing tomorrow is very remote. But
ambitious,
we may have him back for the Burnley game, which is going to go ahead on Sunday. And talking about the Burnley game, Burnley, they just like to call. I don't know how many games they've called off. They've called off another game. It's unreal.
The whole thing.
Games, they've called off. I think they've played. I think they've only played 17 games.
I'm just checking now for Burnley.
I think it's only 17 games that they've
played.
Yeah,
they've played 17 games. Yeah.
So that's a mad thing. So they've got a lot of catching up to do. They're not doing too well themselves because they're in the bottom 3.
They're bottom, no. They're bottom.
They're bottom. Oh wow.
Yeah, they're bottom. Yeah,
and they've lost their. Is it Chris Woods?
We've gone to Newcastle.
To Newcastle. So they might be on the hunt for a striker. I think Andy Carroll. There was talk of Andy Carroll, who's currently playing at Reading at the moment. There's a chance, but we don't know yet at the moment. But Andy Carroll, he seems like he's played at every single club going. Do you know what I mean? But he's
proper journeyman.
Proper journeyman. And so you know what? I think what we will do is we'll talk about the fixtures first, and then we'll go into the Forked Tongue saga. So I want to just look at the weekend fixtures that have gone, and maybe just to just discuss them. And let's start off with Chelsea. They played. When was it that they played? Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday.
Yeah,
they played Brighton.
Yet another draw.
At Amex. 1-1.
1-1. I love the way Brighton play. What their manager has got them doing. The way they play football. It's just a pity they haven't got somebody that can finish, because they play.
Has them well organised, Norm.
Absolutely,
very well organised, and like you say, if they had a hit, man, they'd be looking for a Europa League spot if they had a hit, man.
Well, not only that, he's been linked with the. We'll go into the Rafa Benitez job. He's been linked with the Rafa Everton job. Rafa Benitez obviously getting sacked. I think in 19 games, 19 points. I think they've only won 2 games. That's just unbelievable. But you could see it coming. You go to Norwich and get beaten 2-1. I think at one point they were 2-0 down. The bottom, Norwich were sitting in the bottom half or in relegation. Everton ends up getting beaten 2-1, and I think the writing was on the wall concerning Rafa Benitez. But there's a number of I'm hearing that Jose Mourinho is linked with Everton, but listen, I can't see that happen. You know what I mean? He said he's happy at Roma, but the newspapers, the media, they like to sensationalize these things. But it's going to be interesting, who Everton get, because I say that Frank Lampard is in the picture, and also Wayne Rooney. as well. Obviously ex Everton player.
Ex-Everton, yeah.
You know, so but he said that he's happy. He's happy.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Ian. Good evening. How you doing, bro? He's happy at Derby, and we'll just have to see who they pick. I think they're probably going to end up sticking with Duncan Ferguson until the end of the season. You know, as the interim manager until they find somebody. They've spent a lot of money as well, but it doesn't seem like the money has been spent well.
But if you look at it as well, they had a lot of injuries, Norm. I'm just looking at the table now. Played 19, won 5, drawn 4, lost 10, goal difference -10.
Wow.
19 points. So even if Duncan goes in there, you know what I mean, they're literally hovering above that relegation dogfight.
I mean, yeah, they're in trouble of getting sucked into a relegation fight. You know, if anything, you know, Norwich is on a little bit of a run, you know. I think they got a game. The next game is against Watford. I don't know if it's away or home, but if they win that game, they will come out of the relegation zone. And I think Watford will drop in there.
Yeah, this is 6 pointers. Watford on 14 points, Norwich on 13 points.
Right. So
it's a proper leapfrog, or Watford pull away a little bit, you know?
Yeah, that's it. So if Norwich win that game, Watford gets sucked in there. But as I said, Everton are in great danger of being sucked in there as well. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But just so West Ham, the West Ham Leeds game. Now West Ham are obviously fighting. Not say on all fronts. I think they are they still in the FA Cup, or did they get knocked out?
I'm not sure. West Ham. I'm sure.
Well, we know that they were still in the Europa League Cup, and obviously they're fighting for top 4. I think it's just whether they've got a big enough squad to contend on all those fronts. Do you know what I mean? They ended up. What a game it was, though. I mean, I think it was Harrison got an hat trick.
Yeah, Jack Harrison.
Harrison, mate. I mean, it was like backwards and forward. You know what I mean? But I was like, wow. I just think with Everton, you know, with regards to getting the top 4, it might be, you know, I reckon I've been pushed. I say too far in terms of them getting that. I just think that they haven't got a big enough squad.
Yeah,
and with the Europa League coming back in February, do you know what I mean? They're gonna have to jig around their players. You know. I mean, they're not linked with anybody at the moment currently in terms of in the transfer window. I don't know if they've got anybody in mind, but Antonio's back. They got that Vlahovic back. He's back.
But he hasn't been scoring though, has he, Antonio? I mean,
no, he hasn't.
Like,
he hasn't.
If you look at Bowen has kept them.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of interest from clubs like Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
You know, so he's a definitely an asset to them. But yeah, I mean. With regards to West Ham, it's whether, now we know who Mr. Enrique is. It's Ches, even guys, great content. 3-0 to United today. That's what Ches is calling. He reckons that you know they're gonna beat Brentford 3-0. I think Ronaldo's back. Looks like he's in the side.
He's back in the fold.
Yeah, back in the fold.
Well, he said he was carrying an injury, and then he may have been because he was posting a lot on social media. With his family, like he wasn't even around at the club.
Yeah, I saw him posing out. I saw him posing with his CR7 private jet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, and this is football now. The player gets injured, and you would see him in the treatment room and around the club. Nah, man, these guys get on their jet and they're out of there, back to Portugal. And I'm thinking, what am I missing here? You know what I mean? Who's paying your wages, bro?
He just won an award, didn't he? He just won an award.
Yeah, I don't know if it's what he created for himself. I'm not even sure. I just honestly, it's like, stop it. Come on, man.
And there was also a picture flying around. It was quite funny. I think he posted it on his Instagram. There was him, Paul Pogba, all the people like that are out of sorts.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like they train on their own. Rather than the rest of the squad. I couldn't.
Were they trying to make a point or something?
I don't know, man. And the thing is, what it was his first day back at training, and I said to somebody, it's convenient that he's been injured, and he gets in most winters, goes off to Dubai, has a jolly good time doing therapy in Dubai, and then comes back just before the international break to get picked for France.
Okay,
Now,
according
if
to
I'm
sorry,
Ragnick, he ain't going.
according to Ches, he was away, or let's call it Enrique. He was away collecting his award for top goal scorer.
What in the world, Enrique, or in Europe?
Well, yeah. Could you shed a little bit more light on that, Ches?
Yeah.
Because obviously I just saw him holding this thing. Maybe he was a little bit upset that Messi won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
so man, as you said, man created his own award.
I'm trying to. I definitely saw it on Twitter, Norman, but I just scrolled through it. I didn't even give it any airtime. I'm like, okay, what's this now? What am I missing? Or what am I not missing?
Yeah,
so,
but as I said, that West Ham game, Leeds, it seems like they're getting back their players now, because at one time they were in danger of possibly falling into they've got a nice cushion now of, I think, something like 9 points away from the relegation zone, if not more. And going to West Ham, which is not an easy place to go, and to put 3 past them. And the guy, it's his first hat-trick, senior hat-trick in the Premier League. So, good on them, and that's done us a little bit of a favour as well, because, if they win that game, they go on, 40 points. They're on 37 points. We're on 35 points. I think we've got a game in or 2 games in the hand on them. So, we've got Burnley on Sunday. Hopefully, we can do something. Top goal scorer for Man U only.
Oh, Jancy.
I'll tell you. These Liverpool supporters just can't. Yeah, you just gotta love them, eh?
Cannot help themselves.
Right. And as I said, Burnley, again, they cancelled their game against Leicester at the weekend. So that's the 3rd time now that they've, I think, 4 games in total, because the first game was against Tottenham. They had to cancel it because of the weather. And then 3 games, after that was the because of injury and COVID cases, which we're going to go into a little bit about that as well. Because there seems to be some cloudy situations concerning that. Newcastle, Watford. What is it? Why can't Newcastle hang on to a lead?
I mean, they've got the new boy in there now as well.
Trippier.
Trippier's in there.
Yeah, and they're linked with a striker, and I think there's a defender from Seville, Carlos or something, who wants to go there as well. Right. He's actually putting in for a transfer request. I think it's probably this that's talking. you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine they're offering some silly.
And I mean,
monopoly wages.
And the thing about that, with the Newcastle thing, I mean, listen, they are still, I believe, in the bottom 3.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
they're still in the bottom 3. Watford, they bring on João Pedro. He scores in the 88th minute. What's this? Ronaldo won a special award for FIFA for scoring over 800 goals in competitive football.
Oh, there you go.
We've got to give.
Yeah, that's props. Yeah, give him that. Give him that.
Well done. You know what I mean? Well
done.
I
take it back, guys. I take it back. It wasn't one he created for himself.
well done. Yeah. So the Watford game, the Newcastle Watford game. Do you know what I mean? I mean, these guys are putting a lot of money into this team, and it looks like they're gonna have to buy their way out of this relegation fight. And as I said, they've been linked with a number of players. One time, I think Aubameyang was linked with them, but whether Aubameyang is going to be up for a relegation fight, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, 88th minute, this João Pedro guy comes on and equalizes, and then it is what. And apparently, the board, after they drew that game, apparently the board went in and spoke with the players.
Oh wow!
Apparently, that's what I was hearing. So they must have went in and say, "Listen, people, we're putting in some money in here, yo. So you need to fix up."
Because if you look at it, Norm, they have the most draws in the bottom half. They've drawn 9.
That's what I'm saying.
They've only won 1 game, and their goal difference is -23, mate. 12 points. So they're literally a point above Burnley, and Burnley have got 3 games in hand over them.
What? I mean, Burnley are bad at the moment, but
yeah.
What are your thoughts on Newcastle? Do you think they will survive?
Well, the thing is, that goal difference might do them in. To be already -23. I mean, the only one who's worse than them is Norwich on -35. the goal difference is a lot known.
Mm.
So even when you start winning, you got to start scoring goals as well.
Yeah.
That way you don't go down because your goal difference is awful.
Because they've got Callum Wilson out for pretty much. I'm not saying it's a season, but he's going to be out for a very long time. So
you have to replace him. You got to replace him if they got ambitions of staying up. They have to replace him, like in the next what? How many days we got? 10 days? Or he goes into the 2nd of Feb or something like that.
I think it might be the second or 1st or 2nd of Feb, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I think there's something like 13 days, 12 or 13 days left.
They've got to get a striker in. If Callum is out for at least another month and a half.
Yeah, I think it's longer than that.
I
think it's longer than that. Yeah.
They have to get a striker in.
You've got to get a striker in.
Otherwise they're done.
Because Maximum, I think he was the one that scored in that game. Said Maximum scored in that game.
He scored a beautiful goal.
I didn't see the goal.
He just went at them, beat 2-3 a man, and then just collapsed it. He's just like, this dude. I'm surprised what ain't gone in for him.
Well,
he's a handful.
I mean, Arsenal. I think with Maximum, he's a tricky player, but I just think he does too much dancing on the ball, man. He just needs to just be a bit more direct. Do you know what I'm saying?
But then you put him with a good coach that gives him instructions and tells him what I want you to do.
So I think they just I think at Newcastle they just give him like free reign.
Yeah, and I think they have to. They've got no choice. They've
got no choice. Yeah. Because when he does get that ball and he picks it up, I mean, geez, man, you're frightened to even put a foot in there.
Yeah, he's a mad.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a mad thing. And then the Wolves Southampton game, Wolves ticking along nicely. Yeah. Bruno Lage, he's doing a real good job with Wolves. I think in that game, Traore scored in that game as well. Apparently, it was a good goal as well.
Yeah, and this is what I was said about him. If he could find his shooting boots, that's another dangerous player right there. Yeah, and I guarantee you, he starts scoring, Norm.
Yeah,
teams are going to start going after him because
apparently
he wears baby all right, so they can't drag him back on his arms and all that.
You took the word right out of my mouth. That's if they can hang on to him.
Right. That's what he does. He puts baby oil on his arms, so they can't.
Yeah, they're currently on 31 points. I think they're on the same amount of points as you.
No, a point behind. We're on 32.
Oh, you're on 32.
But we play the same games, though.
You play the same amount of games.
Yeah, and literally they've just lost one more than us.
Yeah, and we've got to go to them. I think it's after the Burnley game. I think so. That's going to be a tough game. Not looking forward to that. Hopefully by then we'll have our full strength side back. Yeah. Maybe have some new additions. This whole Valavic talk and everything. Apparently we put in a bid of I think it's 60 million. And Fiorentina have accepted it, but there's talk that he wants to stay. Well, not say stay at the club. Stay at the club because he thinks that he could possibly, go on a free to Juventus in 2023. Do you know what I mean? But I'm Fiorentina looking at that money and thinking, 60 mil, know. You know what I mean? So Arsenal are very serious about it. They're very serious about it. And we do need a striker. And if stories are true that Al Nassr for the Saudi Arabia side have apparently put in a bid for Aubameyang to take him on loan for 6 months. I think that went in today, to take him on loan for 6 months with the obligation to buy him for I think it's 6.5 million or 8 million euros. I mean, if it was you guys in the chat, would you sell Aubameyang for that price? Or do you think he's worth more? He's 32 years old, but listen, the man is on like 300 plus bags a week. You know what I mean? He's on 300 bags a week. Fraz, the FA are looking in. Okay, this is something that I kind of mentioned to you early on. The FA this is from Fraz. He said the FA are looking to yellow cards given in the Man City game for suspicious betting from Man City. Now, I heard that it was to do with an Arsenal player. So if you can shed a little bit more light on that, that would be great. Just to find out. But I think they're investigating suspicious betting things around that, because I think at the time of when it was an Arsenal player that got the yellow card, the betting went through the roof.
From Man City fans?
Well, I don't know. This is what I'm trying to
Oh,
say. So
right.
I don't know enough about it. I only kind of briefly
Yeah.
saw it flash up on Sky News, but I haven't done enough reading into it to find out exactly, what the situation is with that. But yeah,
It's very hard to rig a football game now.
well, that's what I'm trying to say. But
and unless you buy a goalkeeper off and say, yeah, man, you got to
yeah.
pretend to try and save it, but not actually save it.
What they were
kinda
looking at, I
hard.
think it was the betting company that was looking at, because they look for little spikes and that, and they said when the person got the yellow card, or the betting or whatever, because like you can do spread betting and all of that business.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably all going to come out a little bit more. I hope it's not something that's gonna derail our season. I think it's because Man City might have paid the refs.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be as blatant as that. It really does. Where people have seen
if it's the refs,
transfers and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's the refs are the one that dishing out the cards.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we'll see what happens concerning that. And Man City do what Man City do. 13 games unbeaten against Chelsea, who just did not turn up in that game. I don't know what's going on with Chelsea, and I was saying that Chelsea are probably in danger of getting sucked into a top 4 race. In the last 4 or 5 games, they've only won 1 and lost 1 and drawn 4 games. It seems like they've gone right off the ball. The whole situation with Lukaku, he's just not finding. There was, I think, in the game, in the Brighton game, the camera was sort of focused on Lukaku and what's his name, Ziyech. They were having a little bit of an argument because I don't know if Lukaku wanted the ball at a certain position or whatever, and that we noted that the camera was focused on them. And even when Ziyech scored a really good goal, he didn't even celebrate. So all is not hunky dory in the Chelsea camp, and I'm just wondering, is Tuchel feeling the pressure? I know Dave, who's in Dubai, is a Chelsea man, and a few months ago he was saying that we got this, Chelsea are winning this league. It's a different story now, Mr. Dave.
And they've played the most games in the top 10 as well. 23 games.
Yeah,
but I mean, just going back to the Rom thing quickly, he's the kind of striker that points to where he wants the ball, which I always think helps defenders out. Yeah, like if you're pointed to where you want the ball, more
predictable.
Yeah. But you could see him getting frustrated quite a few times. He's pointing like put it there, and he ain't getting it.
I mean, a lot of people say that he's very good at sort of like playing on the shoulder as opposed to, because I think when like say he's holding up, his hold up play is good because he will turn and spin you, but sort of like on a one-on-one, his touches, they said his touch is just like, they said that when he gets the ball, it's like him passing the ball. So when the ball comes to him, it's a bit like Adebayo. Remember Adebayo, when the ball used to come to him, it used to just bounce off of him. And that's the same thing with Lukaku. And a lot of Chelsea fans now are really kind of like losing patience with him now. They've spent 90+ million on this player, and he's come out and said, like, obviously he said sorry and everything, but Smith Rowe scored more goals than this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think Lukaku thought the grass was greener.
Yeah,
he probably should have stayed put where he was, because I think he was enjoying his football over there.
Well, listen.
But, he said he had unfinished business. So
the Premier League is a lot harder than Serie A. So for me, I just don't know. I mean, some people are saying he's just a glorified Tammy Abrahams. Wearing Timberland boots as well. You know what I mean?
Wow. You think that? See, when he was at United, he's lucky he couldn't control a ball for love or money. And like you say, he likes to play with his kind of back to goal. Yeah. Yet the ball bouncing off him like you say, like he's wearing Timberlands. Put your football boots on, mate.
Yeah. But as I say, that game, that was an early kickoff on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Yeah. The goal by De Bruyne. Oh, what a goal. I don't know if you saw it, mate.
Kevin,
I don't know what the keeper could have done better, but it's something that my son noticed. He's very observant. And what he said is that Kepa, when De Bruyne went to shoot, he sort of made that like he was going to feint like he was going to play a pass. And that kind of made Kepa move So if I'm just remembering, because it was so I'm kind of slightly moved to his right.
Yeah.
And he just put that ball right in the corner.
Yeah.
And some people saying that Kepa, if he had longer arms, he could have saved that. They reckon that Mendy would have saved that. But it was a brilliant guy. And it wasn't that he played brilliantly in that game. You know what I mean? But Man City do what Man City do. They can score loads of goals, or they can beat you by the odd
1-0. Yeah, that's the thing.
Beat you 1-0. And I don't know. I mean, what is your opinion? I mean, listen, Liverpool. Do you think Liverpool can catch them? I mean, you know, Liverpool on 45 points, Man City on 56 points. You got Chelsea on 44, West Ham on 37.
Yeah. I mean, with Liverpool's game in hand,
yeah,
if they win that, what it takes them to 8 points.
Takes them, and they've got to go to the Etihad as well.
Etihad as well. So
yeah.
The thing is, right, and yeah, Dad said he brought it. Yeah, so would I. But you look at City, it's like once they get ahead of steam, right, it's hard to rein them in, and they've been allowed to get ahead of steam again. If they had a couple of dogfights and they drew them games, it kind of has them kind of set back. But once they just start either battering teams or getting them 1-0ers in them tight games, then you think, are they really going to drop them kind of points?
Yeah.
You know, as in, are they going to lose 2 and draw? Yeah, they could lose 2 and draw 1, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, the long and short of it, you're right there.
Liverpool,
they would have to beat City in order to have any chance. But
and they'll have their big boys back, right, by then?
Yeah.
Game
Game
on, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just crazy. And it only seems to be City that are able to do this consistently.
Yeah.
If any team that's going to, go on a run, Latoya, welcome to the chat. She says, I don't think we'll catch Man City, but I think we're definite favourites for second place.
You'll
never walk alone. Yeah.
Walk on or jog on.
And listen, I got it was from Chile, the Tottenham supporter. I got a warning that Latoya is going to be coming for my skin over a certain situation that happened over the Super Sunday that didn't happen, and she was cussing me. Chile was at me as well, so we will talk about that. Jay, they will only drop points if a few of their key players unfortunately get COVID. Well, yes, COVID or injuries as well. And the FA 13 plus 1 player, they made the rules up. It's not just COVID, and there was something that Brendan Rodgers says, which I will refer to, because as I said, it seems like North London or Arsenal seem to be getting a lot of smoke for no reason. And I don't know if you want to agree with me, D. I think it's wrong, but we will come to that. We will come to that. But so listen, the weekend, we got another weekend of games coming up. As I said, you're playing tonight against Brentford. Yeah. Are you expected to win that game? You got Tottenham against away to Leicester. Then they've got a game away to Chelsea. Now, Leicester pretty much got a lot of their players back, and believe it or not, as well, this is the first time that Leicester have played this year.
For real.
This is their first game, because this game that they're playing against Tottenham tonight was a rearranged game. Vlahovic to Arsenal. What we're saying, give me some news, Fraz. Give me some news, please. Please say that he said yes to the dress. Hold on, let's see. Here we go.
Well, no,
what's he saying there? Go on. Vlahovic agent in what? Come on, get in there. Vlahovic agent in London. Listen, don't get too excited. Don't get too excited, because we could get that. Vlahovic agent in London, and Vlahovic said he's ready to come to Arsenal. It's on Sky Sports. Bro, if this is true, then I'm telling you, top 4 is a possibility. If that's
it's
the
wide
case,
open, no.
It's
wide open. Yeah, top 4.
And the thing is, right, D, is that for this, if this is true, right, that means then Aubameyang looks like he could be on his way to Saudi Arabia, where he can start driving his gold cars out there, because they like a lot of gold cars out there. And they can afford his 350 Gs. Roger, one of your favourite fans here, Mr. Roger Brissett, the Aston Villa man.
What you say, bro?
Now, Roger is an Aston Villa man.
Villa man. Nah, man. Villa, the real deal, man. Under Stevie G, man. They're a handful. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend.
Suarez to Aston Villa. Suarez to Aston Villa.
Really? You imagine?
Now, they've turned around and said on Sky that they have no interest in him.
Okay.
But you know, with the whole Stevie G, Coutinho coming back doing the business, we are going to talk about your game and the whole Ragnick saga. Jay, agree. D top 4 is open. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's for the taking, isn't it?
And my big sister is here in the chat. Hi, Kay. Again, she's a Tottenham wife. She's a Tottenham swag. Is that what they call them?
Wives and girlfriends.
Jay, go Stevie G. Aston Villa is her second team. When she never ever watches Scottish Premier League, but when the Scottish Premier was on, Rangers was her team.
Watching Slippy,
yeah, because Stevie G is her player, the one that slipped, the notorious slip in the Crystal Palace game. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Wow. I'm sure if you ask Demba Ba, he'd tell you how he
think about it. Ask Demba Ba that, bro. No, it was a Chelsea game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
The thing was, when you put this all together, Suarez was a part of that team. Coutinho was a part of that team.
This is why Suarez left, you know.
Yeah.
He was gutted. He was like so close, but so far.
No, Brazil.
Literally.
She's a Brazil. Ever know my sister? She supports Brazil. And I think that's because of Pele and you know what I mean. And enough.
I'm the same way. I've always supported Brazil. Yeah, man.
Careful, Ulski. I'm getting threats from the missus. Yeah, I'm getting threats from the missus. But yeah, now just going back, as I say, if this is true, the Vlahovic deal, I can't wait to get off this stream and to see what's going on in here. I think Arsenal as well. Just talking about transfers, I think Arsenal at the moment, if we get this guy, then that's absolutely massive because they've been pushing this publicly. D, you understand? Arsenal were the sort of team to play their cards close to their chest. They don't really like to reveal who they're going for, but they've put it out there now. It's on Sky Sports News. You know what I mean? But listen, we've been in positions where, you know, things have gone that way and then all of a sudden, you know, they said, oh, it's not the truth.
Well, even after the game, it was kind of seen that he was waving to fans like it was a gesture of goodbye.
Yeah, there was talk of that.
They were trying to get some legs on that, you know?
Listen, the papers, they got onto that. And all it was, you know what it was? Is because in that game, he tried to do a Panenka. Okay. And he messed it up. So what they're trying to say is that he was saying, oh, you know, I'm sorry, blah, 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 really sorry. But the newspapers had to big it up and everything.
Yeah. Said that the man was waving to the fans and thanking them for...
Arsenal can't change their spots. They're not buying anyone. That's just from a sour Liverpool supporter. You know, this is what you're going to get. She's just frightened because, you know, we're getting a bona fide 21-year-old striker. Now, the thing is, I'm hearing in terms of the package deal that this guy in total could be on something like 308k a week. Now, I don't think that's just his net. Oh, Chile is here. I'm going to bring in Chile here. Just coming home from work. So I'm just going to add Chile to the stream, just get himself settled down. I think he's settled. I think he's probably going to need to smoke the biggest cigar he can find because I don't know if you just heard the news about Vlahovic, but we're going to introduce Chile to the scene. Yo, Chile, what you say, brother?
Yo, what's happening, man?
Chile, what's going on,
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I don't know if you heard the exciting news. Let me just scroll back. Because I know you Tottenham, you know, you can be a bit of haters, yeah? So let's just show you that. You see that? You see that on the screen? See that?
Has he gone?
I don't know, bro. Francis saying Vlahovic to Arsenal, and this is the next one. I'm not even watching Sky News at the moment. Vlahovic agent in London, and Vlahovic said he's ready to come to Arsenal. It's on Sky Sports.
Yeah, they said that you've agreed with 3 of his terms, but he wants Champions League, which you can't give him. Or you can't guarantee him. So
you just have to go and pour water on the fire, yeah? You just have to pour water upon the fire. Okay, hold on a minute. Roger saying, exciting times for Villa. Stevie V looking good, or Stevie G looking good. If the Gunners land Doosan, then defo serious contenders for top 4. Absolutely agree with that. And Mr. Harris, Arthur said he will put out his strongest side for tomorrow. So just to let everybody know, guys, we are not postponing the Liverpool game. Listen, bro. Listen, listen. This man at the bottom of my screen was firing smoke at me. Yeah, at the weekend, man, I couldn't even sleep. Man, at the middle of the night, firing texts to me. I say, yo, just behave yourself. Just behave yourself. But we will come on to that because I know you got an important game tonight against Leicester away, and I pray Leicester batter you. Anyway, let's go. So, listen, we've talked about the weekend, and obviously in terms of top four, who we think there's a possibility that Chelsea could get pulled into the top four. Dragged into it because at the moment they're not doing too well. Thomas Tuchel's come out and said that the players are very tired. They've played the game against Brighton yesterday. He came out and said that. Yeah, all right then. The postponed FC.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I knew you guys would come with the smoke. That's all right. That's all right, man. That's all right. That's all right. You come with the smoke. Yeah, you come with the smoke. You come with the smoke. But there's a danger of Chelsea getting pulled into this top four fight because their run is not brilliant. And as I said, Tuchel was putting it down to the fact that the players are tired. You've got certain players are not really playing well, like Lukaku, and they've lost, likes of Ben Chilwell and Reece James and that. So their games kind of changed. So But
Norm, his squad is huge as well, Norm. I can't stand when managers come out with that. Your squad is massive. You must have about at least 20 players on loan as well. Bring some of the loan players back.
More like about 80 players on loan.
Right. I mean, I don't want to hear that from Chelsea, man. They have got the most players on loan. I don't want to hear that from a Chelsea manager about my team's tired. Nah, bro. You got it's literally your squad is obese, so you have to have 25 guys out on loan and stuff. Come on, man, stop it. That makes no sense.
Yeah,
that you're weeping about the squad.
He's having a bit of a moan. I don't know whether. I suppose they're both German. Him and Klopp, they tend to like to moan anyway. When it comes to these things, you don't see Arteta moaning at the place. You know what I mean? He's what are you talking about, Chile? The man don't moan. Yeah, he did his press conference today, and he basically said, "Why are people moaning? What's the problem?"
All he done was moan about Liverpool. You ought to be ashamed to make them statements.
Listen. I think. Listen. Let's just cut to the chase. Yeah, let's just cut to the chase, and let's talk about this. Yeah, and listen. And I don't know. Listen, guys. Right. Just reading here that there's been a fire at the Arsenal training ground, and it looks like fire engines from Tottenham Hotspur have gone down to put it out.
That thing fell to the ground.
Yeah, I know you'd like the ground to be burned down. You know what I mean? I hate that you guys. But listen, Roger said, I have much sympathy for Chelsea and Man City. They bankrolled by all rich countries. Haven't Chelsea loaned out like 1,000 players? Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly. But let me ask this question. Why is Arsenal taking all the smoke concerning the postponed North London derby? Chile, the floor is yours.
Because for the entire week last week, all you done, every single Arsenal supporter I know, is complain about Liverpool. Liverpool fielded such a weak side, and you were still complaining because they didn't play you. You wanted to play Liverpool's under 23s or whatever. That's why. And then you have the audacity. You had one case of COVID. One,
That's in one case.
If you want to buy African players knowing that they're going to go to AFCON, that's up to you. And then you've got injuries, but who hasn't got injuries?
Okay.
You had one player with COVID. That's disgraceful.
Okay. Let me...
Chicken FC.
No. Chicken FC. I mean, you're the one with you're the one with the chicken sticking on top of ball, you know. Yeah, right. Arsenal had the most to say last week about Liverpool. Look. Let me just Brendan Rodgers. I thought Brendan Rodgers talked from the heart, and he was talking about obviously you're playing them tonight. And listen, go on, Chile. Oh boy, you got Latoya backing you tonight. Liverpool's backing you tonight. Now, you know, according to Brendan Rodgers, yeah, I'm just gonna try and paraphrase what he said, because I'm trying to find word for word what he says. But what he was basically saying is that the Premier League, the FA, and whatever have set these rules, where it's 13 plus one player, and he said that the Premier League did not mention anything about COVID. They said you have to have 13 fit outfield players.
Oh, don't come.
That's what the Premier League has said.
Boris Johnson, you didn't know it was a party. Come on now. Come better.
Let's come, Chile. Don't sit on the fence. Tell Normski what you think. The guy is telling me what you think. No. But listen, Brendan Rodgers has come out and said, look, as I said, it's the first game that these guys are playing, and that's the rearranged game that he had against you guys. And they couldn't field a side because they didn't have no fit players, and it ended up you guys getting kicked out of the Europa Conference League. And Conte was quite upset about that, and he was also asked about player welfare, and he said, "Well, why?" And he was they were asking who are they proportioning the blame to? Is it Arsenal or is it the Premier League? And it's the Premier League. The Premier League are the one that set the rules.
How have you got the front to even ask the question? You shouldn't be asking the question. Why have you got 23?
Listen.
Why?
Arteta in his press conference today said that clubs came to them and said, could we call off the game because we do not have enough players? They didn't say specifically why. Arsenal didn't bat an eyelid. They didn't say anything. At the start of the season, we go back to the start of the season when we requested, because we had 5-6 cases of COVID where we had to play our young players. That's why we probably ended up getting beaten in our first game against Brentford. Yeah, I know what Chile are going to say that we were whatever, but don't say it on this thing, right? But what I'm trying to say is that there can't be a rule for one team and a rule for the other. That's going by the Premier League and what they set. So I don't know why we're getting all this smoke.
Because
Burnley. Look at Burnley.
23 squad.
Pardon?
Why have you got an under 23 squad?
Yeah, okay. The other thing that listen, there's one thing as well. Chile, and I'm open D, you would agree with me here. Do you think sometimes when you bring in an under 23, so if you're short and then they have a real rotten game and it really affects their confidence? And one of the things that Brendan Rodgers said is that yes, they could have used some of their under 23s, but what they were worried about is that they could go in there and their confidence could have been shattered because they were gone in there and had a really terrible game and whatnot. This is what Brendan Rodgers is saying. He's not trying to back Arsenal, and I think he's just talking from a fair point of view.
No, that's like fair enough. You were scared of us.
No, we wouldn't scare. Let's not be silly and not go into a game where we didn't have he said it categorically that we did not have enough players. We didn't have enough to field 13 plus one game.
But then that means your club's not being run properly. If you've only got 23 players in your entire club.
No. Look, no. But what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, we're only going by, and it's really I don't know what D thinks, but I think it's down to the Premier. Well, I'm hearing now that the Premier League now are going to change the COVID rules. So something is going on. It's because what it is people are taking the mick. Teams are taking the mick. All the teams. It can't be just Arsenal. It can't be just Arsenal.
Let me ask something here, Norm. Let me ask something here.
Yeah.
Is it a case of the squad that you submit for the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
And so there's no addition to that squad unless it's a transfer season. So
yeah.
So was Arsenal saying out of the whatever it is 25-man squad they couldn't even get 13 fit players?
Well,
this way it needs clarity from the FA.
You have to have a certain amount of players that are registered. You have that quota and stuff like that. So you have to have a certain amount of players that are. Thanks, Ian. I need some packages right here, right now.
So it actually needs more clarification across the board from the FA.
It does. And I don't know
And you
why.
put everything in writing, all of it in writing. The clubs have it. And if it's in writing and you can't meet everything on there, you met everything on that whatever they've put in place, then the game has to go ahead. Which even if it means bringing in under 23 players, because you have to remember that Liverpool did this when they went to play at the World Club thing. For a FA Cup.
That's right. And Aston Villa fielded a completely under 23 side.
And so if that's what if you can do it for that, then
it's down to the Premier League, because they set the rules. And now when they had a meeting, because one of the things is that clubs have been asking for the Premier League to have a winter break. And I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I think strongly, because right now, because of the fixture pile up and because so many games there's been something like nearly 30 plus games now that have been, I might be wrong, but I know it's definitely over 20 plus games that have been cancelled or postponed. Now we have what we call a fixture pile up, where teams now, I mean, you had to play like, who was it where you had to play two, I think, Chelsea was complaining that they had to play 2 games in the space of like 5-6 days. And this is because of the fixture pile up. And because of when the Premier League met with all the managers, the Premier League knocked back the winter break. Yeah. Then you had a situation with the COVID cases and the injuries, and they came up and said it wasn't just COVID. It was if you have if you can't field a team with 30 players. I suppose there's players in key positions and stuff as well. We didn't have a midfield. Yes, people are going to turn around and say Granit Xhaka got sent off, and then as a result of that, we ended up getting the game postponed. But it didn't. When we start asking for it at the beginning of the season, other teams were getting it. We didn't get a bly. So I don't know why the Heat. You got all Gary Neville and Carragher running their gums. Come on, man.
You're a disgrace to football and to the Premier League.
What about Burnley?
Nothing to do with Burnley.
No, it's because it's you know what it is. It's because
how you carried on last week. It was a disgrace how you carried on against Liverpool, and you know it.
Listen. I disgrace. What disgrace? I just basically said that Liverpool were the ones that called off the game. Initially, it was Liverpool that initially called off the game. Yeah, it was Liverpool. What did Jan say? Ian, all of a sudden you guys asked for a postponement because of the red card.
That's right.
Listen,
if you've got players,
who called off the game in the first place? Liverpool.
Yeah, but Liverpool were stricken. They
were stricken. Can somebody tell me what 13 false positives are?
Yeah, but when they tested, they came up positive. You had one.
Then the following day, they were all negative, and then all of a sudden they were able to field a strong team for the Shrewsbury game.
That you called that a strong team? Come on now. Look how many people. When I said it to you and you looked through it, you didn't even know half the players.
Yes, of course I knew half the players. What are you talking about, brother? What are you talking about? Of course I knew half the players. I mean, funny enough, when I was watching back the stream, I was thinking, geez, man, because there are some decent players on the bench, and there are about 4 or 5 first-team players playing on the bench.
Well, you haven't got many decent players, but your best players could have been
more decent than Tottenham. So you're going there, mate.
You're right.
But I just don't get it. Why? But it just seems like all the smoke has come to Arsenal, and other teams are just
everybody
under the radar.
You know what? Why they say that Arsenal are the worst fans? It's because you're blinded, because all you see is from Arsenal's perspective. Whereas the rest of us, the rest of the football world, see what you've done and think it's a disgrace.
Well, I'm really getting cussed on that deluded gooner.
Yeah, gooner.
You know what? I thought I came with a case. I thought I came with a case tonight, but bro, I'm getting slapped up here. I'm getting slapped up here. But listen, look,
and to do it against us, you've got no shame. You've no shame.
You know what? Listen to me now, and I'm speaking the truth and nothing but the truth. I wanted that game to go ahead.
Well,
but it just so happened that they've looked at the cases. They put the case towards the Premier League, and they said, "Yeah, you haven't got the players to do it."
Yeah, but
so
the Premier League side with Arsenal from day
man, they side with Arsenal.
Yeah.
They didn't side with us. They didn't side with us at the start of the season.
I don't know about the start of the season.
Well, we had cases at the start of the season, mate. Yeah, we had cases at the start of the season.
Not play us because you've got one case.
Look, I mean, in some cases, it's probably going to be a better fixture now, because when we eventually play you, you're going to have all your players back.
Any of your players that are at AFCON shouldn't be allowed to play, and anyone that was injured shouldn't be allowed to play.
That's your opinion. I can't argue with that. But at the end of the day, we have to go by the Premier League rules. Yeah,
it's going to be a huge fixture pile-up, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's getting out of hand now, isn't it?
I'm putting it down to the Premier League. Yeah, the Premier League have opened up a can of worms, and every team has taken advantage of this. They've taken advantage of a loophole. Yeah. Every team has done it. They have, man. Come on. Burnley have called off 4 games in total. All right, you had your game where it was because of the weather, and now they were to be playing this week. They've called off the game again. So now the problem is we're meant to be playing them at the weekend.
So Burnley closed their training ground? Is that what they're saying?
I would assume so.
Wow.
I would assume so, because they said. But what they're saying now is that they didn't say COVID cases. They just said that they haven't got enough players, because they've got a lot of injured players, and obviously they've sold their main striker.
I'm still baffled with that one, you know.
You know what I mean? You've got the press having a go at us and saying, "Oh, you've let Pablo Maria out on loan to Udinese, and you've sold." I mean, what's that got to do with them? What's that got to do? What's that got to do with the postponement of the North London derby? It's just the newspapers do what they do. We always get picked on. Arsenal always get picked on. Yeah,
you put yourself in that position, and now you want to come and cry.
I ain't crying, mate. And I'm telling you, when we come to Tottenham Hotspur, the toilet bowl, we will deal with you.
Yeah, it's not like it.
You're gonna listen. Count yourselves lucky. You're gonna have Son back, yeah. You're gonna have all your key players back. Hopefully, we will have our key players back, and it'll be more of an even game. Because I know Tottenham wanted to play our under 23s and to say, we beat our under 23s. Now, come on, man, come on. We need come on.
I know you're not trying to flip the Liverpool script with me.
Oh my
it's an absolute disgrace.
Oh my gosh. Listen.
Let me ask you, neutral. D, do you think it's a disgrace what they've done with this North London derby? Honestly.
Yes, it should have been played because I think there's been a bending of the rules. And this is why I say the FA have to be stronger with this because like Norman said, which is fair, Burnley are more than bending the rules there. And because they're in a relegation dogfight, now Arsenal could be bending the rules because they have ambitions for top 4. So if you're going to allow the rules to be bent, the teams are going to do it, Chile, unfortunately. And you can't apportion that just to Arsenal. It just seems like Arsenal do it, and it's Arsenal the first ones to do it.
Say, why are you getting all this smoke? You know why? Because you bent the rules.
But so did Burnley.
Yeah, but if you were Burnley,
where's the smoke? Where's the smoke for Burnley? Where's the smoke for Wolves?
So you're putting Arsenal in amongst Burnley and Wolves.
No, what I'm basically saying, we're looking at the rules that have been presented to us, and we're going by the rules, and we've taken advantage. There's a loophole, and at the end of the day, we've taken that. Listen, clubs are going to do it. But, even the pundits, they say, "Oh, we're not having a dig at Arsenal," but we know that at the end of the day, clubs are going to, look at that loophole and say, "Yeah, we'll do that." The fact that the Premier League are now going back and revising the rules now means that they've done
because of you.
Yeah, but you have to remember as well, Norm. You have to remember as well that the spotlight will always come onto teams more that have actually won the Premier League.
Oh yeah, you're right. So that's probably why they don't talk about Tottenham.
Let me just. And it's true though. It's true because
Liverpool won Premier League, and look how you were last week.
Sorry,
look how you were.
Who?
And you, and then Liverpool went and fielded that half their squad that no one had ever heard of because they're all in the under 23s and under 18s.
Listen. There was
You
a lot of players
loaned out players. You bought African players, and then you want to get games postponed against your biggest rival in football.
How many players have gone to AFCON, Norman?
Huh?
How many of your players have gone to AFCON?
Aubameyang, Pepe, who never ever plays.
Yeah, you don't pick him anyway.
El Nene, who really plays.
Partey.
You know what I mean? And Thomas Partey, who's now on his way back in a private
4.
jet.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 players.
Yeah, just 4. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think Tottenham. You didn't have any.
Not that I can think of. No.
We just got Eric Bailly. I've just seen the team news as well.
Yeah.
Maguire is on the bench.
He's on the bench, right?
So is Rashford. And so is Anthony Martial.
Ooh.
Right.
That brings us. I think. Listen. Look. At the end of the day, Joe, we're obviously going to end up playing you at some point.
You're going to
end up
battered.
playing. We will see when it comes to that. Yeah. But you know what?
And the thing about it is, every neutral fan is going to be behind us because you're Chicken FC.
Listen, guys, put it in the chat. Listen, do you agree with that? The fact that Arsenal have abused the rule, the Premier League rule, or is it the fault of the Premier League? Because there are other teams that are doing it, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't know why Arsenal are getting the fire.
Look at what Jay said. Exactly that.
Yes. Okay, I would agree with that, Chile. Pepe's your best player. No, he's not. Pepe's not our best player. Tell you that now. Yeah. I was going to say Granit Xhaka. He's not our best. Definitely ain't our best player. But yeah, I mean, it's a joke team. But listen, D has just talked about the side, and he's actually mentioned a certain player, Anthony Martial, who, if anything is to believe, this guy was looking to leave the club, and I think he probably still wants to leave the club. But after your 2-2 draw, what's going on there? Man United.
He was deflecting, Norm.
Huh?
He was deflecting because we shot ourselves in the foot and literally gave away a 2-0 lead. We had the game in control for about years. So I wouldn't say we were outplaying them, but 2 goals up. Even if you think these guys are going to get tired, you got to use that bench and close the back door. You don't let them come back. And so I look at that and I think he used the Martial thing as deflection of, yet again, we cannot keep a clean sheet for love or money. So I look at it, I mean...
Because the question I answered is, the thing that I put in my description is, who speaks with forked tongue?
Right.
Is it Rangnick or is it Martial? Because Rangnick came out and said, now it's depending on how you want to interpret it or your perception of it, but I mean, whatever conversation they had, they would have had it in private, so I don't know exactly. But as again, the papers like to spin it, and basically was told that Martial refused to play for Man United. Now, was Rangnick right to do that after the post, or was it out of frustration, the fact that they ended up, as you said, was it a deflection tactic? The fact that they ended up drawing that game 2-2.
Yeah, one, didn't want the game to be a talking point. 2, you have to remember that the moment Anthony Martial said he wants to leave Man United, because basically he wants to go to the World Cup, and he's not playing, right? So I hear the kid, right? Now people say he's lazy, always got that moody face on him, rare. Okay, so that's opinion. I would say probably 2/3 of the Man United fans feel that way about Anthony Martial. When he was pulling up trees for that season and a half, they were right behind him. They made a song for him. So it's fickle fans again. I don't get into that. But if someone tells you that they want to leave, why hold them to ransom? Let him go. So the moment he said that, he got frozen out. He wasn't getting picked, right? Now, I imagine the conversation, because of what's gone on with injuries and all the rest of it, he said to him that he's put him in the squad. Now he hasn't been in the squad, but he's put him in the squad. He says, and he said, "Am I gonna play?" He says, "You're in the squad," and he probably said, "Okay, so am I gonna play?" You're in the squad. He goes, "No, I want to play." So he's saying he refused to be in the squad, Anthony Marshall saying, I would never refuse to play for Man United. So they're both hanging on to, one's hanging on to play for Man United, one's hanging on squad for Man United. Now, then he said, this is what he said earlier in the press conference, that him and Anthony had a private conversation, and whatever was spoken about, they're good. Now tonight he's back in the squad. Not playing, but in the squad. Now he's playing Anthony Elanga over Martial. Tells you everything you know. So I said last week,
and he played quite well. He played quite well in that Aston Villa game as well.
Yeah, well, I said last week that he's not picking a team. Darren Fletcher's picking that team, right? Because here we go again with McFred.
So, so you've got McTominay and Thingy back in the team.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So he's playing a double pivot of McFred. He's dropped Maguire. He's gone with his trusted goalkeeper. He's gone with Varane and Lindelof, Dalot and Telles, who seem to be the favourites now. And then Ronnie up top, Bruno in the kind of holding, not holding, sat behind the striker. Then you got Elanga and Greenwood wide, and McFred in a double pivot.
So it looks like they've changed their formation as well.
Exactly. He's gone back to the Ollie formation, mate. That's the Ollie formation.
It just obviously means that they can't play that system.
Picking this team. The team are not fit enough to play that 4-2-2-2. They're not fit enough, Norms. So he's gone back to the Ollie formation. Now, I read yesterday that Marshall went to Ollie to have a chat. Right? And apparently Ollie told him to stop moaning. Which is interesting. Now, this is all alleged that he reached out to Ollie or met with Ollie. Now, there was a picture I think I sent to you guys where you saw Ferguson at a coffee shop with Michael Carrick. I kid you not, Mom. You can't make this stuff up. And we literally, this team lives in social media, man. Yeah. That's what I said to you at the beginning of the show. We are a circus act, and the press just jump on that. They love it. Yeah, Roger's right. Bruno had a monster game with that CR7. So now we're going to see, because you have to remember, these two don't play together for Portugal. Yeah. If Ronnie starts, Bruno's on the bench. Yeah. 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 It's not a coincidence, is it?
I mean, you know, he did play well in that game, but to throw away a 2-goal lead, I mean, you know, this is bottled up.
And why bring up Anthony Martial when you haven't been picking him or starting him? Yeah. So why all of a sudden you're saying, Martial? Because remember, when Ollie was saying that Martial was injured, his girlfriend came out on Twitter and blew it all up and said he's been fit for weeks.
Yeah, I remember.
The girlfriend just blew it all up, and whether he told her to, or she just decided, I'm sick of everyone hating on my husband. Actually, he's actually his wife. I think it's his wife rather than his girlfriend. I think it's his wife. So let me correct that.
Ferguson's still pulling the string.
Jay is right, because this is what I said to somebody, that Fletcher was what's he, development coach or no, technical director, right? Yeah, technical director.
Yeah, suddenly, whatever that is.
Suddenly, you have to remember they never backed on Kieran McKenna taking that job or Carrick quitting, so they were going to still keep Ollie's old boys in the mix with Wreck-It Ralph, and because that blew up, Fletcher promoted himself to a first team coach. So he sat between that coach that Rangnick brought in and Rangnick, and you can see him like telling them stuff. He's out there, he's telling these guys to warm up and all sorts. Fletcher's in the box, in the technical box, telling guys to warm up. I'm like, bro, you're not the manager. What are you doing? Yeah. So I think that he's pulling the strings and Fergie is pulling his strings.
Yeah. I mean, it really is a mess. And I'll tell you what, I mean, come the summer, I mean, obviously he will end up going upstairs. But I suppose now that he's changing his system, because obviously it doesn't seem like it's working, the manager that you bring in, you're linked with the likes of Ten Hag and Pochettino. Ten Hag would probably play more the Ralph way, whereas Pochettino might have a slightly different way. So, I mean, that's going to be interesting come the summer and that whole transition and everything. And do you know what I mean? And I think there will probably be a major call. I don't see. I know Pogba's coming back. I think it's February. He's back in training.
Yeah, he comes back. He comes back after the international break.
Right
now, if he goes and rolls it with a French squad, then for me he has to go.
He has to go.
Yeah. If he goes, if he look how long he's been injured, right? And I'm not saying he weren't injured, but if you get fit to go and play them internationals, then I want.
Then there's something.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah. I mean, I know you said it. I think on the last stream that look, the man is on 400 plus bags a week and whatever. Do you think he has a future at Man U? Because it's just constantly on and off. 1 minute, he's going to sign. Next minute, no, he's going to go. What do you reckon?
Well, the thing is, right, if you have a contract on the table from July, right, now they're saying the contract I think he puts him on par with David De Gea, 375 grand a week or something.
Right.
Now apparently he wants more. He wants more than David De Gea. Now he hasn't put in the performances.
He hasn't
even warrant. I mean, I know I'm saying. What
I mean, and that's the problem. And because he doesn't ever. Well, since he's come to, I don't know if he's actually played a full season. I mean, I don't know if he's played a full season.
Yes, the season we won the Europa League.
Okay,
with Jose and Mourinho.
Yeah,
I think that's his only full season.
But other than that,
and even then, I think he had a couple weeks off with a niggle. But I think his most consistent play and probably his best play, was under Mourinho. Believe it or not. And then I
was listening to another podcast and they were saying that they're wondering whether his body can actually handle it now. What is he? 28, 29?
Yeah.
He just seems to be sustaining quite a lot of injuries, and then like he recovers from that, and then there's a setback. You know what I mean? And it's costing a lot of money, to be paying this. You know what I'm saying?
He always gets injured when the winter month kicks in, and then pitches in Manchester get heavy. And where does he go to do recuperation? Dubai.
Dubai.
It's not a coincidence, man.
The way he does his TikTok.
Yeah, right. It's not a coincidence that he gets injured when the pitch gets heavy.
Yeah.
And then he's out of there. And then then now he's coming back. He's just prime ready for international, because he wants us a World Cup medal, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And so I look at it and I say, and I do I like when he's on his day. I like what Pogba brings, but I just think there's more negative than good.
Yeah.
And I know some of this is the press.
Yeah, it seems to carry a lot of baggage, innit?
Yeah.
And that's what you're there to play football. That's what you're paid for. But with these modern footballers, a lot of them carry a lot of baggage. Do you know what I mean? Back in the day, you knew your footballers only to play football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the footballers of then, I mean, they were quality. Can you imagine the sort of money they would have been on? In relation
nowhere near it. And I think as well that does make some of those pundits a little bitter as well, because they look at the extortionate money and they think to themselves, what 300 grand a week, and that's the performance you put in.
And some of them they can't even tie, and admittedly some of them just can't tie some of their shoelaces.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? These guys are getting paid mad money. You know what I mean? So I mean, with all that said, do you think there's a possibility at the end of the season? When I say at the end of the season, looking at your games, obviously you're playing tonight away to Brentford. Do you think that you will make the top four? Because if you win tonight, you'll be on the same points as us. And I know if Tottenham win tonight, they will go above us with, I think, because you've got 2 games in hand, haven't you, Chile?
We've got 2 over you, 4 over Chelsea, or 5 over Chelsea.
5 over Chelsea, yeah.
Wow. You got a lot of games in hand, goodness.
Yeah. And teams are scared to play us.
Sorry, was that?
The teams are scared to play Tottenham.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a word with Rennes. I think he's watching his side. Is Tottenham playing well? It seems like you seem to be. You know, what I mean, I don't know.
It's all.
It's all Tottenham.
Yeah, we've got
10
possession, and we've just.
Is Vardy playing?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a chance that we could drop down to 7th tonight. Boy. Please.
It's crazy though. One win or loss, and you
I
can
know.
go far.
It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. So I mean, you need to win this game tonight, and then obviously you got a massive game. Is it Sunday? You're away to Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
And I mean, Chelsea are not being in good form, so you might be going into that game. Do you feel confident because of when you look at okay even though Chelsea are on a bit of a slump,
we never do well against Chelsea, never.
Right.
And so no,
yeah, because you got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, didn't you? Yeah. Lucky there.
But you know what? In the Premier League as well, there's always those teams because I always feel like we never do well against Wolves. Wolves came back in.
They're like your bogey team, man.
Yeah, whether they come to us or we go to them, it's like they just got the beating of us, or they know how to at least take a point off us every time we go there.
Yeah,
and so I think every team has a team where it's like whether it's just mentally or what. That's like you don't click against them. You go there. But I'm looking tonight, Norman, and dropping Maguire again.
Yeah,
that's huge for me. That's a big statement.
Yeah, because he's the captain, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is the gay the captain?
It's probably Bruno, I would think.
Oh, Bruno.
Yeah, he gave it to Bruno last time, but then Ronnie weren't playing. So I don't. I'm just saying the lineups.
Brentford is a tough place to go to. I mean, they're not doing too well away from home, but they'll probably give you a good game at home because it's quite a small pitch and that.
Exactly.
So, and then they've got the crowd behind them, so that will be really interesting to see. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, as I said, by the end of tonight, that table could change. I mean, we're currently sitting in 5th. Obviously, we've got, I think, a game or 2 games in hand on West Ham. As I said to D earlier on, they ended up, which has done us good for Tottenham and Arsenal because if they won that game at home to Leeds, they would have been on 40 points, and it becomes a little bit psychological. Do you know what I mean? Trying to chase them down. So hopefully we can win our game on Sunday to sort of kind of get back above you. And but I'm hoping that Leicester will do the business against against you guys tonight because boy, you know what I mean. But listen,
they're not looking good at all.
Leicester not looking good.
No,
and I'm not surprised because they haven't played. They haven't played for the whole of but it's mid-January and they haven't played.
I know.
So you know what I mean. So what the problem is that even though they might be fresh, but they're not match fit.
Yeah,
whereas Tottenham, you know what I mean. And Tottenham now, it seems as if Conte is really gelling that team together. Just quickly, Chile, just with regards to your side and the whole transfer window, again. Listening to, I said it last week and I heard him again this week, and they asked him a specific question about the transfers. And he said, I would rather not talk about that. It's something that I would want to discuss with the guys in private. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, they talked about you being linked with Adama Traore. And I think also, is it Tanganga? I think if who's the player that's out at the moment? He's meant to be coming back. Is it Emerson?
Romero.
No, Romero. Sorry. So what it is that there's a club that's interested in Tanganga. Yeah, I think it's an Italian club, but I might be wrong, or Spanish club. I can't remember. But what Tottenham are saying is that they don't want to let go of him until they know that Romero is back in training. So that will probably be towards the end of the window. So there's a chance that Tanganga and also Ndombele as well. Any news on Ndombele is because apparently he's training away from the first team squad, and they asked him about that, and I think they were saying about to work on his fitness and everything like that. So
I see that fitness thing whenever I see the guy play. He runs as much as anybody else. He's just got that. Like laziness look about a bit like. Do you remember how Berbatov was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that kind of it's almost like the guy's not in the game. But mate,
But that's just how he is. So no matter how much you shout at him or drop him,
yeah,
how he is.
that's how he is. Yeah, just really laid back. It's like it's a bit like Ozil as well, because it's like Ozil.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Ozil,
he's like he just
1-0 Leicester.
Wow.
Against the run of play.
Yeah.
Who scored?
I don't even know who this guy is.
You sure? Oh, let's hope that VAR can kick in here. I don't even know why I'm supporting you, man.
No, it's a good goal there.
Proper goal.
Argue about.
Listen, it's early days. It's early days yet. You know, you could end up drawing the game, which will do us a massive favor, absolute massive favor. But we're coming down, and you know, we've talked a lot about all things football, and just going as well. I mean, listen, I don't know the fella. You might have heard news. If anybody has watched AFTV, you would have heard about a certain guy called DT. Does anybody know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know him personally. I've not met him personally. Well, funny, I did meet him, but didn't get to talk to him when I went to a Liverpool game, and they were doing. Robbie was doing the old,
Daka.
Okay, Patson Daka, yeah. Okay. And obviously, what's happened is that DT has ended up getting. He was on the government website. He's getting 3 years for kidnap and assault.
Wow.
And battery. Now, as I said, I don't know the player, but a lot of smoke is also going. I had this conversation with my missus concerning Robbie of AFTV, because some people are saying that Robbie knew about it when he had him on the I think it was the 1st of January. Now I don't know if he was out on remand, because no one seemed to know what AFTV has said is that they knew nothing about this, and equivalently they didn't know that this was a situation, and obviously they're not going to have him back on the show ever. Now, you know, doing the YouTube business. Listen, I'm obviously I'm doing the YouTube business, but I'm not here. I'm not looking to make a name for myself. I just enjoy talking about football, talking with friends, you know, and just sharing our thoughts and everything like that. AFT have obviously made characters, you know, the likes of Ty, the likes of Troops, and all these people. And as the platform gets bigger, more controversy, you know, especially controversy hits. Yeah, it's a lot of explaining to do. Do you know what I mean? They lost the likes of Mo, the situation with the Palestine situation, and all of that, and a lot of fires now coming Robbie's way with regards to DT, because they're saying that if he did know, why was he allowed to come onto the platform and share his views about the Man City game and stuff like that. And I can absolutely, you know, don't condone what he's done. And our thoughts go out to his ex-partner. He was stalking her and everything like that, and tried to kidnap her and everything like that. And luckily, a bystander came by. So the judge looks like I think originally he had got I think it was a year or 6 months, and the judge said no, that was too lenient, and they extended it to 3 years. Wow. So yeah, he doesn't look like he's going to be. And you know what it is as well. Some people are saying that he, you know what I mean, because they're saying, well, how is he tweeting or sending out messages if he's in prison? How was he tweeting? Obviously, somebody must have been tweeting on his behalf, because he was attributing it down to that the reason why he's been away for 5-6 months, because nobody saw or heard that it was down to mental health. And a lot of people are saying it's wrong that he's using mental health as a cover, you know, to say that you know, that's the reason why it's missing. When it's all now come out, it's on the government thing, so we can talk about it, because it's publicly, you can go on there. They've put a, you know, it's a shame that it's come to this. But you know, when you get to those kind of size, you know, because he's got 200 and odd thousand subscribers, and I think my son was saying that he lost. Now I don't know how true it is. He was on like 270 plus, and he's lost like 20 plus thousand, like that.
Yeah, and you have to remember, Norman, he's probably monetized as well.
Yeah.
So he's getting. So if people if people pay to get their comments put up. And then there's adverts within, advertising within the YouTube podcasts. He gets a cut of all that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the problem is now
badly there
because they said that these blue ticks that was taken away on the Twitter thing. So when he does come out, all those sponsorship deals and everything.
Yeah, he's done out here. Yeah.
He's done. He's practically done out here. But listen, mental health is. It's a thing that affects a lot of people. I mean, some people, they do podcasts and things like that because it helps them to be able to connect with others and that, get some situation. You had a situation with Claude, God rest his soul, and Chig, who I was both subscribed to. They've gone on, but situations have happened in their lives where they ended up being mentally affected because of it, but they died of natural causes. It wasn't that they took their own life or anything like that. But when you get into the Twitter world or the social media world, I mean, I don't do Twitter because I know it can be very toxic.
Yeah,
what I mean? I'm just sticking to the Insta and I'm just sticking to do my YouTube. And you have to have a thick skin because not everybody's going to agree with you. But I don't feel that you have to. Look, listen, Chile is a Tottenham supporter. Yeah. We can't stand each other's side, but we're not going to be going around threatening each other. It's pure banter at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can turn around and say, put football aside. We work together. We know each other. Same with you, Man United. We used to have a whole heap of banter on our WhatsApp things, and that's gone a bit quiet. I think that's purely down to the fact that we're not up there anymore.
Yeah,
we're known as Banter FC. You know what I mean?
There's not much to talk about.
Yeah. We've joined Tottenham in the Banter FC now.
In Banter FC.
Do you know what I mean? But listen, as I said, look, he's going to be in there for a while. We don't know what's going to happen when he comes out, what the future holds for him. But
he's got nothing to come out to. He's done.
Yeah, but I hear what you say. He's done, and a lot of people said the way he's treated people on Twitter and stuff like that. He's got his comeuppance and that, but. Don't you think there's, holding out that what do we call it, that hand of peace in terms of no, Chile say no. He ain't having it. He ain't having it, and I know Chile definitely doesn't like Robbie. So I mean, he gave it to me last night on the phone. So I said to him, let's leave it on the phone. Let's not put it on you. Yeah. Not to say that I'm monetarized. I'm not monetarized, but yeah, man was giving me an earful when it came to Robbie. I mean, but it is what it is. It's happened, and we just got to hope that no. She said no. What's happened? Jay saying no. What's that? Why are you saying no? Has somebody scored?
No, it's still 1-0.
Yeah, still 1-0.
Why want me to say no? Well, you need to shed some light on that because she went no. So I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is. But listen, guys, I think we've exhausted all our.
I'll ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you guys think the bigger teams made a faux pas not getting Coutinho?
Say that again, Chilla.
Do you think one of the bigger teams should have got Coutinho?
I mean, look, we was linked with him last season, the season before. I mean, after what I saw him did against Man United, I was thinking, well, we could do an attacking midfielder that could score goals. But listen, the likes of Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and Xhaka, they're doing the business. But mate,
but
I don't know because his wages he's on quite a fair. He's on something like 300 and something thousand a week.
Yeah, but Villa managed to thrash out a deal.
Yeah, I think what Villa are doing is they're paying. I don't know if it's 2/3 of the wages and then Barcelona paying the rest of it, but I can't remember the exact figure. I did remember reading it, and it was a fair chunk that Villa was paying. But what's he 29?
I don't even know how old he is.
I think he's 29. Oh, She's saying he's done. No olive branch. Okay, wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing was, I was talking to one of my Liverpool guys yesterday, and I was saying I was shocked that you guys with that depleted squad didn't look at Coutinho, but he reminded me that this guy nearly tore down Anfield to get out of there. He burnt a lot of bridges, so they said that, and I actually forgot that it wasn't a smooth transition. He really did make a nuisance of himself.
Yeah,
upset.
Yeah, because you heard rumors like you know
everything was getting leaked.
Yeah, I mean, look, 140 mil. That's what Barcelona paid for him.
Right,
and
that's a chunk, isn't it?
It's a massive chunk, and obviously that money that Liverpool got for him, they went out and bought the likes of Virgil van Dijk,
and the goalkeeper as well.
Goalkeeper, and that. So they've
done well with business by Liverpool. He wanted to go. Don't keep a player, and this is what I don't like about Man United. You're holding on to players that don't want to be there. Now Cavani's not on the bench tonight, so I'm like, is he injured again? I mean, I don't get it. To personally speak, I don't think he's injured. And he wants to go.
He's obviously had to make room because Cavani can't play that. Well, he probably can play the pressing game better than Ronaldo. Yeah, but
he can't play the game. Yeah, he can't play 2 a week.
Can't play.
Otherwise, he gets injured, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's quite professional about it. You know what I mean? But it's just that whole chopping and change. I mean, listen.
But is another player that was begged to stay on.
Yeah.
They begged him to stay. Now
I know because he was ready to go.
Martial and Van der Beek ain't getting played. They've been asked to go, and they've been held to ransom.
Yeah.
So you have to free them.
I mean, just quickly, do you think Van der Beek will end up going this January, or do you think he will just be there till the summer and then just play bit part?
Well, if he doesn't go in January, he's not going to the World Cup.
Simple
as that.
It must be. Oh my goodness!
Actually,
who missed?
Holberg. They cleared it off the line.
Wow.
So Holberg had the shot and it was cleared off the line.
Yeah.
Whoa. Listen, this game looks like it's hotting up, mate. I want to probably go watch that, and I know Dean's going to go be watching his Man United game.
What's going on with these guys,
listen. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure again, and we be commencing this next week. Hopefully, there won't be no games called off. The Premier League would have definitely changed the rules concerning COVID and that, and I won't have Chile ranting at me. Steady, Chile. We're one of the biggest clubs in England.
I hear you. You're bigger than Arsenal anyway.
But thank you guys. Thank you for those people in the chat for just being there and for collaborating with us, and we really enjoyed it. As I say, next week we go again. We'll see how the land lies concerning the Premier League. Hopefully we will be. That's it. Thanks, Latoya. Ian, well done, guys. Thank you very much. Hopefully, we will be celebrating getting into the finals of the Carroll Cup. Hopefully we will beating Burnley and going back above you guys. And come on, Leicester, do the business, guys. Thank you again. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm now, as I said, at 200 plus subscribers. Roll to 250. Thank you very much for those people that have subscribed, and also. Big up to Shegs. I know Chili does work on that channel as well. Big up to the channel there. He's hit 100 plus subscribers. On the Ball TV, go over there and subscribe to him if you haven't. On the Ball TV, that is doing the business, and well done to him. And again, like to say thank you to everybody. Have a good night, and I'll see you on the next What's Going On podcast. Take care and God bless.
Take care, guys.